Alrighty, well, since I'm in that chair first, I'll just go first, okay? All right.
Hi, I'm Cathy Shedenhill.
I'm Gary Shedenhill.
My family, I love them, but yeah, none of them are believers yet in Yeshua. But I'm working on them. You know, little by little, I share with them my love for the Lord and my experience, and try and share scripture with them. And interesting enough, the first time I went home to share with them, and my dad listened to me, and after I had about 20 minutes of sharing what, you know, Lord did in my life, in my heart, and he said, okay, well, you believe in 3 gods, I believe in one. And that was the end of the conversation, because I was only in the Lord for 2 weeks. So I didn't know any information. I'm like, I don't know how to combat that. I don't know how to really share. Yeah. So every year, or every time I go home on my leave, in the military you get leave, so I'd go home on leave and I'd share with my family, and it started sinking in that this wasn't going to go away anytime soon.
It was interesting. All I remember was that when I made that drive with her father to Tony Roma's for ribs to get a carry-out order, and that's when I asked him, for his permission to marry his daughter, and he said that I had to dispel his daughter's strange ideas of wanting to get married in a church. I said, well, that isn't just her idea, that's our idea. And it was a very silent, drive all the rest of the way home. And I'm thinking, as a believer, how can I bridge this? I mean, because God allows things to happen for a reason, right? So how can I bridge this, And all I could think of is, Scripture speaks about honoring your mother and your father, or her mother and her father. So it's like, how can we salvage this? So let's honor him by having a second wedding in Florida with him, so he doesn't even have to travel to that. And then, so we'll still have our Messianic wedding up in Illinois. And if he wants to come, that's awesome. And if he feels that he can't, that's okay. We're family, I get it. But honor him by having that second wedding. So that was just a bridge, so to speak, that God gave us through His Scripture, really, to honor mom and dad, right? So did that, and I'm so glad that we did that, because then they came up to the wedding after realizing we wanted to have 2, and it just opened things up, for us. So we got married June 3rd in Illinois, and then we Saturday, June 4th was a travel day, and there was traffic, and we all got there late, and we all missed our flights, and her mom had to buy all new airfare for everybody. I don't know how she afforded that back in the day. And then we got married on our second wedding on the 5th of June on a Sunday in Florida. Was it a Best Western or a Holiday Inn? Holiday Inn. Yeah, it was in one of their big rooms that you rent. So we had some local rabbi who knew her parents. He was the one that did all the things. And then we went up on the chairs and did all that crazy stuff that my church wouldn't do. But on that, one thing that we really enjoy about this congregation is the focus on sharing the gospel with Jewish people. Being able to share it in a way that makes sense to them, in a way that they can relate to.
I did go to synagogue when I was real young, until I was about 7 or 8. And so the Hebrew, reading the Hebrew and speaking in Hebrew, the singing, just, it brought back a lot of good memories. We didn't have dancing in my congregation growing up, but I really enjoyed the Israeli dancing. And we've been coming to Son of David for a little less than a year now. We found Son of David by going to Simcha, which is a Messianic retreat put on by Chosen People Ministries. And we found out that more than half of the people from the retreat were from Son of David congregation. And so we looked it up and we decided to come out here. That was May, I think. And we only came once. And then we came back in September and have been coming ever since.
I think there's something different when you have your own building that you call home, and then you share in that neighborhood, and people know where you're at. and they know that that anyone will be there, 7 days a week. So they have a place where they can come if they have questions. If they can't make it on Saturday or Sunday, I mean, there's always going to be somebody at the new building, somebody from our staff, that they can answer questions about salvation, who is Yeshua, anything, So it's a beacon, it's a place on a map in a community that's growing, and so whereas here, I mean, this is again, it's awesome, that we can share space, but we just don't quite have that here. So it puts us on the map, I think. Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Support the building fund.
Son of David Messianic Congregation has been sharing the love of the Lord to the Washington, D.C. metro area for over 25 years. Our new property is situated on Norbeck Road with easy access to the ICC and sits right next door to Leisure World and a huge brand new neighborhood. As we raise the funds to break ground on our new building, we ask that you prayerfully consider donating to this project so we can continue to live out the calling that the Lord has for us in the Silver Spring and wider Washington, D.C. metro area.